You don't need a new job. You don't need to lose 10 pounds. You don't need someone to save you. You just need to change this one thing: the attitude you bring into each day. Let me say something that may sting a little. Your life right now is a reflection of the energy you bring into the world. Your relationships, your happiness, your peace of mind, all of it is directly tied to the attitude you wear every morning like a second skin. And here's the best part: you can choose your attitude. Yes, life is unpredictable. People disappoint. The past may have bruised you. But what if you could take all of that and use it as fuel to rise higher, not sink lower? What if the very thing you've been waiting for is already within you, quiet, strong, and ready to flip the switch? Let's talk about powerful mindset shifts that will help you rewire how you show up for yourself and for everyone around you. We throw around the word gratitude like it's a pretty little bow we can tie on top of a messy life. But when you're waking up every morning already exhausted, when your heart feels heavy, when you're questioning whether the best years are behind you, gratitude doesn't feel inspiring. Feels fake. And I get it. You're not ungrateful, you're just tired. Tired of giving so much and feeling like it's never enough. But let me tell you something you need to hear. Gratitude isn't about ignoring the hard parts of your life. It's about choosing to see all of it. The tiny moments, the breath in your lungs, the hot coffee in your hand, the text from someone who still cares. These aren't small things, they're everything. Because when your brain is stuck in survival mode, it's scanning for danger, for problems, for what's missing. That's not your fault, that's your wiring. But here's where the power lies. You can interrupt that pattern. When you consciously say, hold on, what's one thing I can appreciate right now? You're literally rewiring your brain. You're building resilience. You're not denying the pain, you're taking back control. Gratitude gives you access to strength you forgot you had. It snaps you out of autopilot and reminds you that even on the worst days, you're still here. Still breathing. Still capable of fighting for yourself. Your emotions are loud, and if you're not careful, they'll run the show. One rude comment can ruin your whole day. One disappointment can pull you into a spiral of, why me? And what's the point? But the truth is, your feelings are not the final say. They're information, not instruction. And if you let every emotion drive the car, you'll keep crashing into people you love, into opportunities you were meant for, into regrets that stack up like bricks. The power of a positive attitude is not in pretending everything's fine. It's in recognizing the moment you start spinning and choosing to pause, just for a second, to take a breath, to ask yourself, is this thought helping me or hurting me? That one question can change everything. Because the moment you stop letting temporary emotions make permanent decisions, you start leading your life with intention. That's the difference between reacting and responding. That's where real strength lives. There's this belief that joy is something you stumble into when everything finally lines up. When the kids are doing great, the bills are paid, the job isn't draining the life out of you. But that's not how joy works. Joy isn't some magical reward at the end of a perfect day. Joy is a decision, a conscious, defiant choice to show up with light even when life feels dark. And let me tell you something you already know deep down. People who choose joy are magnetic. They walk into a room and you can feel it. It's not that they have easier lives. It's that they decided to stop waiting. They decided that even with the disappointments, the heartaches, and the years that didn't go how they hoped, they're still going to smile. They're still going to say something kind. They're still going to dance in the kitchen with the music way too loud. Because joy doesn't depend on your circumstances. It depends on your attitude toward them. And when you start choosing joy in small ways, your world begins to shift. You become the kind of person who doesn't just survive life, you light it up. You set a new tone. And the people around you start to feel that. And more importantly, you feel it. We all talk to ourselves. Every single one of us has a voice in our head narrating everything. Your reflection in the mirror, the way someone looked at you, the thing you said at dinner last night. And the scariest part? That voice is usually brutal, tears you down. It reminds you of your mistakes, tells you that you're too late, too old, too much, or not enough. And if you're not careful, you start to believe it. You start to shrink. You stop trying. You settle. But that voice is not the truth. It's just a habit, and habits can be changed. The power of a positive attitude is in changing the way you speak to yourself. Start by noticing when your thoughts get mean. And instead of spiraling, try this. Interrupt the pattern. Say something different. Say, I'm doing the best I can, or this doesn't define me, or I deserve better than this inner bully. That might feel weird at first, but over time, you start becoming someone who builds herself up instead of tearing herself down. And when you do that, your entire world starts to reflect it. It's one of the hardest things to accept, that not everyone is going to get you. Not everyone will understand the version of you that's healing, growing, speaking up, setting boundaries. Some people liked you better when you kept quiet, when you played small, when you made it easy for them. But the truth is, needing to be understood by everyone is a heavy chain. Keeps you performing, keeps you editing yourself. And over time, you forget who you really are underneath all that pleasing and proving. The freedom you're looking for, the peace you crave, it's on the other side of letting go of that need. Because when you stop chasing their approval, you finally start asking, what do I want? What do I think? That's where your confidence starts to build. Not in being understood, but in being aligned. You're not here to fit into everyone else's expectations. You're here to live a life that feels right to you. And yes, that will cost you some relationships. Yes, some people might talk. But you know what? Let them. Because the people who truly love you, who see you, they don't need you to be small to feel comfortable. They'll cheer for you, even when your light gets brighter. Forgiveness is one of the most misunderstood things we ever talk about. People think it means letting someone off the hook, pretending it didn't happen, saying what they did was okay. That's not forgiveness, that's denial. Real forgiveness is fierce. It's a boundary. It's saying, I refuse to keep poisoning my spirit by carrying this. When you hold on to resentment, when you replay that betrayal, that abandonment, that moment that broke your heart, you're not punishing them. You're punishing yourself. Every time you relive it, your body goes through it again. Your heart doesn't get a break. But when you choose to forgive, not for them but for you, you're taking your power back. You're saying, this happened. It hurt. But it doesn't own me anymore. That kind of forgiveness is freedom. And it's not a one-time thing. It's a practice. It's choosing, again and again, not to carry what you were never meant to hold forever. When you release it, you make space. Space for peace. Space for joy. Space for you. Take a good look at your space, your home, your habits, the people you talk to every day. Whether you realize it or not, they're all feeding something in you. And if you feel stuck, heavy, drained, uninspired, that's not your imagination. That's your environment reflecting back what you've allowed. You cannot have a positive mindset in a negative space. You cannot feel energized when your surroundings are cluttered with things that remind you of who you used to be or what you've given up on. The truth is, your environment either supports your growth or keeps you in a cycle of self-doubt. And it's not just about the physical space, it's about emotional energy too. The conversations you have, the shows you watch, the way you start your mornings, it all adds up. If your world is full of people who make you feel like you're too much or not enough, if your routines are built around getting by instead of lighting you up, then you're never going to feel truly alive. A positive attitude can't survive in a space that's draining the life out of you. You've got to take inventory. You've got to start asking, what in my life no longer aligns with the person I'm trying to become? And when you do, you'll feel it. The air gets lighter. The noise in your head gets quieter. You start to rise. You don't find the future you want. You build it, brick by brick, with every small choice you make. So many people sit around waiting for motivation, for timing to be right, for someone to give them permission. But the truth is, the version of you that you're dreaming about isn't going to show up one day like magic. She's already in you, waiting for you to move, waiting for you to stop stalling and start creating. A positive attitude says, I may not know exactly where this is going, but I trust myself to take the next step. That's it. You don't need a 5-year plan. You need 5 minutes of courage. 5 minutes of doing the thing you've been avoiding. 5 minutes of showing up differently. That's how you start building momentum. And once you start, you'll notice something. The future doesn't feel so far away anymore. It feels like something you're shaping, something you're calling in, something you deserve. Now here's what I want you to do. If even one thing in this message resonated with you, don't just let it sit in your mind. Act on it. Write it down. Say it out loud. Share it with someone who needs it. Leave a comment below. Tell me which of these points hit home. I read them, I feel them, and I want to hear your story. Hit that like button if this speech gave you clarity. Share it with someone you love if you want them to feel this light too. And subscribe because this community is just getting started. We're building something powerful together. And if there's a topic you want me to dive into next, drop it in the comments. Your voice matters here. Your growth matters here. Let's keep rising. One attitude shift at a time.